Welcome back. This is the Gen Z Manifesto. Hapa form ni kuongea itutoke. And majibu akiongea na watu kwa streets, kwa ground. Huku studio mambo yamechemka chemu chemu. We had a whole show here and I can't wait for you guys to hear what Linda's panel has to say on today's topic, which is, what is your view on marriages? Gen Zs, is this a scam or not? And we want to read some feedback from you guys back at home. Let's get some of that. What is your view on marriage, Gen Zs? Joanne's Rain anasema, it is a slavery where a slave, aka man, pays by all means his slave master, aka woman. All right, Rain. Trevor Kemotai Leyan anasema, marriage is not a scam, but not easy to handle. I'm not married, but I get a clear picture from married people. Ya amekalia pale kwa nini? Kwa fence. Andrew Morathi anasema, not a scam. Okay, I wish you'd have told us more, but okay. Evangelist Simon anasema, he's from Nanyuki. Marriage is God-given and plan and part in God's creation based on 3 pillars, and that is love, trust, and cherish. Saying that it's a scam, that's a negative mentality. Ohiki we morio. Marriage is sweet. Thank you, Evangelist. Tony Cruz anasema, he's from Kericho. Marriage nayo sahi hapana zi. Hii economy ni ngori. Plan to get married on 2027 after election. Marriage is good. Mi naona hiyo ni plan poa. I am going to agree with you. Simiyu anasema, love is a blessing from God. It's not easy to marry without resources. Please, Kagina, nowadays marriage is a contract because most ladies do what? Kagina has been tagged because he has a ring on his finger. He shall tell us more about that. We can move on to the next feedback maybe. To those who have V8, amesema mama atana V8. Simiu. I am Rodri from Kisumu. For me, still children, I don't want to get married because men outside here, wewe. Men outside here, wewe. As I said, the show had already begun before we went on a break, before even Majibu talked to his people. So let's continue with the show. Linda Kagina, on your side. Please, take it away.
Well, Miss K, kulikuwa kumechacha for sure.
Kumechacha for real.
Let me just go right to the conversation. Let me begin with you, Brandy. Brandy, what are your thoughts about marriage? Kwanza, we unaweza olewa, unaweza taka kuolewa, ama do you have different thoughts about it?
As long as it's a business contract, 100% to olewa. But I will agree with one of the feedback that came and said marriage is slavery for women, because for you to get married as a woman, you're technically sold to a man. Like dowry is paid, and now the man, unasikia unasema mali yangu. They don't say my wife, mali yangu. So you're expected to come into this family and become a maid, do the house chores, do the everything, and all the husband has to do is give the money. And I know giving money is a lot, but it's not even a lot compared to all what women do, because they have to give birth. And okay, let me just go to the
What's your thoughts?
My thoughts is that it's slavery for women because they have to lose their lives. They even have to let go of their goals sometimes to focus on what the man, or because they say, behind every successful man is a woman, but they never say the opposite, because it has never been that way. Marriage has always been negative for women. It's like a good thing for men. Hata ujaona dem hapo kwa feedback amesema, alhamdulillah, marriage is a beautiful thing. It's just the men, because they know they're getting helpers. You see how that's how they call us, helpers, which is
well,
maids.
the Bible called us helpers from the beginning.
Because it has been given, that is their Christian view. It even makes it hard, because even if Christianity views us as maids, why will I enter into this marriage that already views me as a maid?
Hey,
Brandy.
let me get a varied
Brandy.
reaction right here. What would you say? You've just heard what Brandy said. Joseph, what are your thoughts about marriage? And do you agree with what Brandy has said?
Okay, for me, I would say Brandy is saying that marriage is a slavery for women. Okay, for me, that's like a village mentality. Or maybe a mentality that was with the generations that zilishapita. For me, marriage is something that should be considered something like it should be a celebration of life, actually. Because I mean, when you are getting married to someone, that means you are in love with the person, and love is a beautiful thing. As I start from that point, so people saying marriage is slavery or maybe marriage is something that cannot be considered. To me, I feel like we are just a lost generation trying to find our way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, short and precise. And to you, what are your thoughts about marriage?
Okay, so my thoughts about marriage is that marriage is not a scam. Now, why I say this is because, okay, first, marriage will depend on how it is approached. If it's so intentional, you all know why you are there, then there is no reason for it to be a scam. But if now it's this, the man is hiding this, or rather the woman is hiding this, like you're just playing child games with each other, then it's bound to fail, and that's when you start saying marriage is a scam. Yeah, we have grown up watching failed marriages and successful marriages, and we can say that it depends on the approach that it is taken, but my stance remains that marriage is not a scam.
Okay, okay. Fair enough, fair enough. And to you?
Thank you very much. To me, I view marriage as a responsibility. It is a rite of passage, and it is a legal right. It is not an illegal
legal right.
Yeah. Okay, I will encourage my fellow youths to marry at the right time.
What is the right time?
Okay, to me, at the right time when one thinks that this is the right time, when he or she meets what she expects in life. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, okay. Kagina,
Well, indeed,
what do you
Linda,
have on your end?
I'm joined by a very interesting corner right here. Let me start with Carolina. So, what's your perspective on marriage, and will you get married?
Wait,
Right
Apo, will I get married? If it happens, well and good. If it doesn't happen, well and good. The aim is to be rich. The rest is not really my business. As long as I get the money, as long as I'm balling out here, that is the aim. Marriage is not really one of the goals or pedestals I've placed them, the way people have placed them. So if it happens, well and good. If it doesn't happen, well, still okay.
Is it a scam or not?
It depends on the approach you take. For women, most women, we've grown up seeing women struggle in the name of marriages. And men have grown up seeing the dad coming home and having everything provided. So once you have two different perspectives on the same thing, we will have varied emotions. Of course, for men, actually for a majority of men, marriage is beneficiary. Because why? They're getting someone who can, keep the house in order for a very simple fee of financial compensation, which everyone is doing nowadays. So you can't come and say, oh, men are the ones who are providing. Everyone is doing the providing. This economy is tough for us to leave that to one person. But from the woman's POV, it will be a scam. Because again, I'm expected to give my body. On top of that, in Kenya, we have a case where women are also providing. So on top of that, I'm also expected to do the primary childcare. Simply because I'm getting married, that's a lot. That's a lot. So it depends on the perspective you take. If you take the African man's perspective, it will not be a scam. If you take the African woman's perspective, it will be a scam.
All right, indeed. Pass the mic to Joseph too.
Yeah. So my perspective is that marriage is actually not a scam. Unlike generations zimekuwa mbele yetu, Gen Zs tuko very woke. And this wokeness inakam in two ways. First of all, generations zilikuwa zimepita mbele yetu. These people tunaweza sema ni searchers, like ni explorers. But now sisi Gen Z ni explorers but tuko na tools. Hizi tools tuko nazo ni information. But most of the time unapata conversation ati yuko willing kukuwa nayo ni time yenye umependa msee but yuko willing to come up kuelewa responsibilities itakamaje. Me personally, me ni msee na look forward to a very big wedding because I know personally nikiingia hiyo space si ati ninaingia just for the sake ya floss ama ya kuonyesha kwa screens nimepata a very good wife. Rather ni place na commit na kama open check nasema that mimi nimecommit into this and I'm willing, even though kuna a lot of cases zenye zime happen and that's why tunapata wasi wengi wanasema marriage ni scam. But personally na feel say tuko na skills na tuko na opportunities and most of the time men pia wako willing to actually provide irrespective of the situation.
So unaona inaweza work.
Yeah, ina work vibaya
Alright.
sana, yeah.
Let's
Na
get to hear
sasa,
another
even
voice.
Kagina hata kabla isonge,
Yeah.
unajua umesema you're willing to invest, do a
Yeah.
wedding. Don't you think a woman can listen to that and say, oh, this guy, you're financially stable, I'm coming in there because of your worth?
I think sorry, conversation main tunafaa to have ni before tufike kwa hiyo level ya kufanya marriage tumejuana na msee. Unajua hapo ndio majenzi most I think wana make mistakes. Si upatana na msee leo tumetextiana kesho, probably the next day tumeenda date na tumemaliza hiyo shughuli. But I think conversation most enye mimi na prefer ni tumepatana na wewe, let's get to know each other's talents, tujue ni nini exactly unaweza do better, nini unaweza bring on the table, skills gani unaweza leta. After that conversation ina change, inakuwa mutual, and then unakuwa beshte yangu, and then kitranslate to maybe a fiancé and unamaliza hiyo shughuli. Like haina rush.
But
Siko
see,
na
men say if you know with Nade too.
Unajua problem maybe tunadu ni tunataka kuexplore haraka and then tunaenda ku make mistakes later. Yeah.
So people should take their time.
Yeah, but time ni subjective. Juu kila mse ako different. Vile anaweza view time na vile mimi na view time ni different. But most important, conversation ikue na tukue wa true. Vile nilisema sisi ni explorers but tuko na tools. Hizi tools ni nini? Vitu zenye ziko around us.
Linda umenotice when Joseph was speaking ameongelea story ya ikitu kuwa transactional.
Yes.
Very
exactly.
transactional.
Unaleta nini kwa the table?
Exactly.
Yes.
What do you bring to the table?
What are you bringing
Are you
to the
also
table?
financially stable?
Yeah.
Bas.
I think it's actually mentioning a 50-50 kind of thing. Like,
Okay.
yo.
And by the way, kitu moja starts enye iko
Shortly,
sahi-
briefly, 30
yeah,
seconds.
Yeah. So kitu moja enye ni starts sahi nasema 97% of Gen Zs, either men or women, are willing to bring something on the table. I can give you an example. Sahi vile economy iko imetu constrain. Tumeacha kukua ile design enye wazazi wetu walikuwa wanakuja home wanatuletea kitu. Sahi imekuwa more of the same, like unaweza bring something. So you know, give even a better chance ya marriage ku work.
All right.
Than
Thank you
kukosa
Joseph.
kuwork.
This conversation haiwezi isha hapa ndio maana tunaendelea. Wacha tusikie Miss K what you have on your side.
Right. Hey, Sijay, just pick up from that and just speak about something. There was a statistics juzi zilitoka about are men paying bride price? Is the modern man paying bride price? Because tumesikia stories za madem pia wana chip in hapo chini ya maji just for the sake of getting married. Isikike tu waliolewa. Malika, are you paying bride price for yourself? Maybe kidogo?
Me.
30% maybe?
Me,
Yeah.
as an African woman, am I mad to be paying my bride price?
But you see, now you say African woman.
Okay.
Huh? It's like you're choosing when to pull the African woman card.
Okay.
Right? You pull the African woman card when it comes to, say, bride price, but you pull the urban woman card when you're asked, what are you bringing to the table?
Okay, let's address that. Yeah. So, first of all, we have to really accept and face the fact that colonialism did change the face of marriage institution in Africa. For one, marriage in Africa was not all monogamous. It was only polygamous with people of high status. When you want familia yenyu iendelee lineage, that was when most families would be polygamous, right? But when the white man came in, it's like, no, the Bible has said you only have to marry one woman.
Right. And she will be your helper.
Yes. Now
Underline.
we are getting there. You know, I love using the Bible against people who like using the Bible to fight us. First of all, let's remember the same Bible is an edited version that was used to colonize us. Let us start there. The same Bible did not tell God, the woman is going to be your servant. There's a difference between a servant and a helper. Very big difference. When God was creating woman, he did not do it in public. He literally went in secret. Why? Because it actually shows that what God really respects what a woman is. So if our creator can respect who we are, why can't men do the same thing? Bride price is not a thing of I'm buying you off. And sadly, that is something that it's been transformed into. It's a thing of we appreciate this person. We appreciate umrembo wenyu.
So when the woman chips in kidogo, he's also appreciating the man? No?
My friends.
Shikilia hapo Malika. Let me get it. Joshua, there's one perspective. First of all, is marriage to you a scam or not? And then please talk to me about the people who enter marriage as a business venture. Talk to me about that.
Definitely, I would say that marriage is not a scam.
But what is a scam is what marriage has been packaged to be. And it is exactly the structures that surround marriage. Because right now as we speak, there are too many expectations that come out of a marriage. And all these factors I'm speaking about, they are, social factors, psychological factors, economic factors that I have had many people mentioning.
Right.
Because when you think about it right now, I was just doing some small research when I was coming. And right now doing a dowry in Kenya, you will need between 400,000 and 700,000 to do a dowry. And that probably is placed on the man to raise that money. To do a wedding in Kenya, you will need between 600,000 and 1 million shillings.
Our guy over there, but is very ready for Tuesday to pay, to do a big wedding.
Yes. So I want you to imagine that kind of obligation that is being placed on you. Again, the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics is telling us that 67% of Gen Zs are unemployed.
Right.
So I want you to imagine this person who is unemployed is expected to raise this amount of money to marry, to raise this amount of money to pay the dowry and the bride price, and at the same time raise a child, take the child to school and everything else. So that makes it very, very difficult. So marriage is not a scam, but we need to redefine these structures that are around it. And that's why Gen Zs are not getting married, because it is very difficult to get married. But we need to build a new system of marriage from the ashes. Two, on the people who are treating marriage as a venture, business venture per se. Relationships naturally are transactional. You give and you take. So per se, I wouldn't say that marriage is a business venture, and that's a wrong approach to marriage. Because marriage originally was meant to, a union where two of you come together and raise children together. So if you treat it as a venture where you come to enrich yourself, then you are deviating from the main purpose of the marriage. And ideally, you are losing it from the word go.
But both parties are gaining monetary gains in this venture. It's not ati mtu mmoja. So it seems to some people that it does work for them like that. You might find families that don't have children, but they're doing very well business-wise. And that is marriage to them.
True, and I get what you're saying, but in marriage, there are two types of contributions.
Right.
One, there are monetary contributions, and then two, there are non-monetary contributions. So in Kenya right now, as we speak, majorly men are the ones who are doing monetary contributions. And even the Supreme Court has even made a decision about it. But women do a lot of non-monetary contributions. And that is what we have been saying, that we need to recognize these non-monetary contributions that are being put into place. So majorly men incur a real financial, injury when it comes to marriages, because you have to provide. And what she was saying, an African woman expects an African man to provide.
Right.
Because there are the 3 P's that people speak about, and a man is really expected to always provide. So that is why you are seeing that there's a lot of even depression among married people. When you will go to the local joints hapo mtaani uingie, wende ongea na wazee wameo, unasikianga wakisema nyumbani nasumbuliwa na bibi, that's why I come to drink.
Yeah.
But it is because out of these expectations that are really placed on them, that is why it goes to there.
Okay. And I'd like hapo tu penye tumeongelelea marriage being a business venture, I want us to listen to this one particular video, and it's coming from a financial expert. All right? So let's hear that video.
Institution created to enable property ownership between two people. It's got nothing to do with love. You shouldn't have to have the government come into a romantic relationship. Why is the government coming into a romantic relationship? You love one another and you can love one another until you die. Marriage, in my view, was created so that we can be able to own property together, so that in the event of your death or my death, there is a structured way in which that property will continue to be held, and we'll be able to take care of the assigns of the marriage, being the children. Because marriage is a contract. It's me and you. It's this man and this woman. And so any other interloper into this relationship has got no locus standi, has got no claim to anything that the two of us build. There is no reason why we should come together and get this contract when we are in love. If we are now going to come together, we're in love, now start to create property together. We need to say, this property that we're holding together, what do we want to do with it? Do we want to do it for business? Are we holding it for our children? What are we going to do? Should we then create a company because it's an asset?
Should we then create a company because it's an asset? Love and marriage. Malika Ouma.
Yes, Moa.
Are you bringing the word love or the aspect of love in marriage? Should we be in love to get married? That's the question.
I really do think you should be in love to get married.
Is it important? Is it an important aspect?
I do believe it's an important aspect, but it's not the only aspect.
Okay.
With just to add on to what my brother here said, when it comes to the pressures of the provision,
Yeah.
for a very long time, women were not able to actually earn money. If you can remember that very well. From a very, very long time, men were the only ones in the workforces. And when women were allowed to earn money, this actually happened here in Kenya. You can go and ask any of your parents. That kama mwanamke alikuwa anafanya kazi, inabidi bwanake ama babake ama brother yake aende achukue pesa yake. So for a very long time, women have not even had control over money. So that whole responsibility was put on men, not by women. But by the society created by who? By men. So if men are having a problem being told, oh, you say you're the provider, provide. And to me, providing is not just financial. That's the dumbest thing you can ever assume. Because you need to provide spiritually, emotionally, mentally. How are you going to be able to guide your child? Mtoto akifanya homework, is it only the mother who's going to be helping? No. Is it only the mother who created the child? No. The father was there as well.
Right.
So we put monetary responsibilities on only the husband, and that pressure has been driven so hard
Right.
that we forget it's not the only way of providing that a family needs.
And on that note, we'll talk about also the emotional provision. You've spoken about that. And we've had harrowing stories of people in marriage getting abused physically, mentally, financially. Yeah?
True.
Are we still considering marriage even after seeing all this happening?
This is gonna make me sound very crazy, but yes. I personally as Malika, I see that the institution of marriage can give you a certain level of safety if both of you are willing to use your brains. Because in most marriages, what wanagongana because it's I. But when you get married, you become a we. You become a team. Literally, as he said, one of the main things that people were doing was to come together to raise a family together, to raise children. And to add on to what Mainamal said, you cannot be saying that Atika's women, their work is just to take care of the children. First of all, cleaning and cooking are not gender roles. They are basic human things, roles. Before any man gets married, doesn't he have somebody who's cleaning his house, who's cooking for him? So why is it when he now gets a girl who loves him and said, you know what, I'm gonna come and be a thing with you, kazi yake ni kumwosha, kwani yeye ni mama fua? Is that his mother? Technically, if you're looking for a woman to cook and clean for you, you're looking for your mama.
Or a maid.
Or a maid.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna subscribe to be any, because as much as I can cook and clean for myself, my man gotta be able to do that for himself. Mimi nikitoka kwa nyumba, I've gone for work for a whole week, so I come back to the house and there are flies all over. Are you gonna tell me he's gonna starve for a week?
Okay. Thank you, Malika. Joshua, the same question. We've seen stories, very, very sad stories actually. The other day we saw a woman who was allegedly dragged by people sent by the husband and she ended up dying, you know. We've seen such stories and we see them daily now, right?
True.
Are we still considering marriage, or how then do we block that, right, as we are trying to make decisions on whether or not to get married?
Yes, Ms. K, I agree. I know the room is very heated, but I will respond to that. Yes, the Gen Zs are still considering marriage, me being one of them. But what we want is to really redefine what marriage is.
Yeah.
That is what we are seeking to do. Because when you look at how marriage has always been perceived to be, marriage was built on a system of, for example, look at something like patriarchy.
Right.
You know, people don't want patriarchs, people want partners right now. And you know, that is where the problem is. And luckily, I agree with what one of the persons who was speaking said, that now we have a lot of information. You know, we are the generation that has the highest access to information.
Right.
So people are approaching marriage from a very different point of view. But now we really need to think about how these toxic marriages are getting to where they are. And it is because of the societal systems that we have. Look at, for example, our churches. Our churches will always be bulldozing submission. Keep quiet. As a woman, you are meant to submit. Don't raise your voice to your husband,
Okay.
and so many other things. So that means that unless we redefine these systems, which I believe will happen with now, if the Gen Zs here were to rise into positions of power and influence,
Okay.
then that is going to change.
All right, redefining marriages is what Joshua says. We'll continue this conversation after the break.